態からその用途、目的まで全く解明できない。さらに興味深い難問がもう一つある。科検三部調査班の報告によると、例の物体と一緒にロボノイドが発掘されたらしい。クリエイトタイプ ID00104。
バカな、期限前ですぞ。しかもここにいるクリエイターと同じ型番、なんかの間違いでは。
確かに私もそう思った。だが製造元である我々が発掘したのだ。間違いようがない。
理解不能です。やる気あんのか。とっとと調べさせろよ。
双子の兄弟なのかな。
いいね、それ面白いよ。
現在記憶データ解析中だ。分かり次第追って連絡する。それから今日は君たちのテスト最終日だったな。上層部も新型機には期待しておる。頑張ってくれたまえ。
親父、気合がありゃテストなんざ必要ねえよ。
天外外の成績はどうなのかね。
最低であります。
これは確かに。
This is a very long intro. I'll probably let it play out. I don't speak Japanese, so I can't appreciate what's going on that much, but it's a shooter. There's two things actually about three things I always think of with this game. Like, one is that I've always been pretty bad at it. Like, I'm just not good at this game. I love shooters, but I'm not necessarily good at them. Just put it that way. So, the other thing is that I got into an argument with someone online once because I said it was similar to DAO, which I stand by. DAO is a game, D-A-I-O-H. I'm not really sure how it's pronounced. I've always said DAO. It was kind of common. Maybe not, but there was a Quickie Mart by my house that had it, and I played it a lot back in the day. But DAO had 6 buttons that were 6 weapons that powered up independently each, which is really fucking similar to this game. So no, it's not that wild of a comparison, even though that's not like a boss rush style game. But it is a vertical shooter, and it's not a bullet hell. And this game's a vertical shooter that's not a bullet hell. So regardless of what people might say, I think it's not a bullet hell. I haven't played it in a while. I'll have to take a look at it, I guess. But I do remember it mostly being a boss rush. And then the third thing was this came out on the 360. I guess I still have that version. I just don't know if it's installed, and if it's not, it's probably delisted. So I would like to take a look at that one. I need to fire up the 360 at some point and see what's on it. I just haven't used it in forever and don't even know if it works. Scared to look almost, because I'm afraid it's dead. I gave my other 360 to my niece, and she could not get it to work. Even though it had worked the last time I checked it, so I don't know. I know it still has Marvel vs. Capcom 2 installed on it, which is awesome. I don't think it has Outrun, which, that kills me, but let's play the PS2 version. I should get the PC one set up, but God, it sounds so fucking annoying to do. I'm really lazy. I may get bored with this game and switch games during the stream, in which case I'll update the title. If I do that with games now a lot. I did that with my last stream, and it got quite a few views, 20 views. Thanks for watching that, y'all. That's a better format, though, I think, to play a game till it's kind of exhausted, and then kind of move on to another one if I have more time. Sometimes you'll just get one that's just a quick shot of one game, though. And this, I don't really know what I'm doing. That interlacing looks really bad, but I'm not going to enable a bob filter because I'm pretty sure that once you fire the game itself up, it switches from 480 to... Oh yeah, this also has a Saturn mode, and I don't really know what the difference is. But yeah, the actual game runs in 240, I'm pretty sure, and won't have this awful combing on it. I don't know what all the buttons are, I'll just have to experiment and find out. It didn't ask me Saturn mode or arcade mode. That wasn't like a choice that I got. Yeah, there's so many buttons. I just don't know. I just do not know the best method here. Oh, you want to... Okay. Woo! Learning stuff. Alright, learning stuff. Trying to learn stuff. Yeah, this is kind of borderline on being a bullet hell, isn't it? It's like a mild variation of that, where the shots are a little faster and there's a little bit fewer of them. But it's not fully like an old school shooter either. It's kind of in between. Ikaruga, which is a lot of people say is the sequel to this, and if I play another game today, it's almost certainly going to be Ikaruga. The thing about Ikaruga, god damn it, that's a foreground object. You see, you got to learn these things. You got to play to know. It's the way a lot of shooters are. I'm not going to use credits. I'm going to try and get better at this. Interesting. I would love to know how this first, like the square button or X button weapon works. I guess it would be X button on a Saturn. I'd love to know how the X button works. I don't understand it. The little tracing thing, this thing. Let's see if I can get it to work on these first guys. I bet it's worth hella points because it's dangerous and stupid to do. That's the way these things usually work, right? As I try to get bold and experiment more, I'm going to do worse. I can see. Things are just going to get worse. I don't know if this game has power-ups. I think the weapons just are what they are, aren't they? Oh, maybe they do. I don't know. Fuck you. Is that exactly the same distance I made it last time? Did I not get a better score that time? I thought I got a better score. Could have swore it was like 100,000 points or something. Must have read the screen wrong. Yeah, it's just showing some big number up there that just keeps going up, I guess, but I'm very confused about the scoring system. It means nothing to me. It truly means nothing to me. Like, what am I looking at? Why? What is all this bullcrap? Oh, it's not starting me over from the beginning? Or what's going on here? How does the save system work? Is that not something I want to do? I'm real confused, man. There's a number in the top left that keeps going up, but it's not. It doesn't mean anything. If it's not 0 when I started the round, why would anyone even have a cumulative scoring system like that? Am I the only person who thinks that's stupid? I just want to play it like arcade style, where each time my performance is compared to my previous performance. And this is a wild idea, so I actually know how I'm doing. So I know if I'm doing better. Is that crazy? Is that a crazy thing to want out of the game? If score is meaningless in this game, what do people play it for? Like, how do they measure their... Is it just a completion thing? Would a shooter even be popular if it was designed that way? Something seems off here. I gotta figure out why we're not... I got a score up on the board once, and it seemed like a totally normal thing, and now it seems, since I saved my game and did it once, that it's completely fucking borked. Is that true? You have to do a new game every time otherwise? I think you might. See, this has become very stupid for me now. Like, I don't care as much about this run, even though I'm doing better. Like, way better, in fact. Yeah, I think I'm starting to love this game after this round, but at the same time, we gotta figure out what to do about the score situation so I can enjoy score running a game like I normally do. This is bullcrap. I think I should just choose new game, but then when I go to save, I save over one. Because all of that crap's meaningless, I guess. Only games that are from game start save. And I bet that the save file, yeah, it just has something to do with continuing or some shit, or continuing your score, or some weird thing I don't understand. I bet it saves your high score table no matter what. We'll find out. Why is the first stage of the game 3A? Does anyone know that? That's pretty weird, isn't it? Why wouldn't it just be 1? 1A. That guy's hard to hit. That's just a scoring trick that if you know how to do it, it's cool, I'm sure. Ooh, that's hard. That whole bit there is just some hard business. Treasure were just on a tear on shooters during this time. I mean, the stuff they put out was awesome. So we got this. Then, a lot of people don't like this one as much, but I think it's a good game, and I'll go back and do a stream of it here at some point. I played it on Twitch before. Sylphid the Lost Dimension. I think that's what it's called. The Lost Planet or the Lost Dimension or something. No, maybe it is the Lost Planet. Anyway, it's good. It's I guess it's the second Sylphid game technically, because the Sega CD one, which I think of as being the second one, is actually a remake, not a sequel. I did shitty that round. Super shitty. Didn't pay attention to my score. Gonna start paying attention to my score. Because I feel like, even if that was shitty, I feel like it probably should have went on the board. The only score I put up is shitty, and it went on the board. So what the fuck is going on with this game's scoring system? I hate it. Like, so far I'm hating the game design, the layout. Like, the game itself is so awesome. And I hate the way they're having me play it. Like, I hate the way I can't tell what my score is. That the score is cumulative or something. I don't understand the save file system. The fact that it's, some of it's in Japanese and stuff too probably isn't helping me, but I don't know. Maybe there's some things that would be more obvious. I don't know. I'll never get through this part without dying, will I? Like, it's just never gonna fucking happen. This guy seems way tougher than he was before, like he has way more health. And then, oh, no, suddenly and instantly blows up. The fuck was that? This game's weird. I'm gonna have to, because it feels so fun to play, I'm gonna have to figure out what the deal is with it and how to enjoy it. Like with Ikaruga, it's obvious how you enjoy it. You fire it up, you play it, you don't continue, that's your high score, it goes on the board, your next one goes on the board, like a fucking video game. What's this game doing? What's this game's deal? Also, why does it do it weird? That's probably a really good way to get those ones behind me, aside from that. That's very hard to maneuver. What was my score? I didn't see it before I died because I don't have time to be looking at the top of the screen and dealing with a fucking shot pattern like that. Was my score good? Was it bad? Let's save to file 1 again. I don't know. Does anyone understand this? Does anyone fucking understand the scoring? What is... This seems so broken and awful. Why did I get 1 score on the board? Never again. What's the deal with that? Was it really less than 10,000 this time? Did I get less than 10,000 points? I'm about to switch games, honestly. I want to have fun playing this, but how am I supposed to measure my progress or tell what I'm doing? How does this work? It seems like it's stuck in Saturn mode and I want to play arcade mode or something. I don't want to play some Saturn mode, I just want to play the game for score. like an old man.
戦闘機3機を搭載していると
Why the
今
fuck?
回の期間は大きな賭けであることに違いはない。正面からの戦闘はできる限り避けねばならんのだが。
I'm gonna have to Google it or something. 70,000. That's more than 60,000, so it's going on the high score table, right? Why would a score that's higher than the old one not go on a high score table? Let's find out. I'm getting, and if I can't figure out why, 175,000 blows my old score out of the water. If I can't find out why I can't get my score on the is this like a cumulative score too? Did I start at 0? Hang on. I'm tired of this. Let me reset it. What an odd problem to have with a game. This has never been an issue before, where I just can't like enjoy it because I can't get a high score table going. Just a normal 1 credit high score table. If nobody does that and they say rating, and if this game does not support that at all, and people are like, "Oh yeah, that's the best shooter ever," I'm like, "Yeah, you don't play shooters the way I do." So I'm saying something's real wrong here. Here we go. Let's see if this fixes it. Maybe this is all I needed to do. This one keeps track of more than 10, but okay. I'm curious to know if my old score will be registered in that or not. I think this might solve my problem, though. Feels like a joke, but here we go. Just realized I have like other buttons I'm not even using, probably. Yeah, that's fine. Nice. Doing a pretty solid score here, right? We're seeing this roll in 83,000. Okay. I mean, solid for me. So let's see if it goes on the board, or if I'm just gonna have to switch over to Ikaruga out of just absolute disgust with however the fuck they've configured this game. score table system, which I just do not understand. But it would make sense if the scores are just weird in the Saturn mode, because that's a mode for people who are trying to get through the game. And that this is the mode for people who are trying to set a high score. Because that mode lets you stretch your continues out or earn extra credits or who the fuck knows, you know what I mean? It probably has some bullshit in it. Probably, I'm just guessing. Oh shit. That's all stuff that's pretty manageable though, with a little bit of practice. Let's see if my score, which was over 100,000, made it onto the table like it should. I like that it's just automatically asking me for a score right away. This looks like it worked, yeah. And I am now ranked 88, hell yeah. Time to Google. Sorry, I'm gonna figure this out. Got distracted by a message about a board game. There we go. We're currently playing Freedom 5, if anybody knows anything about that, or Sentinels of the Universe, which it's based off of. I play a lot of stuff like that. That's my Friday night game night with my buddies. I'd like to try to stream one at some point. Try to figure out a way to do that. I'm really into all types of gaming. It really goes beyond this stuff, too. Like, I love retro games and modern games, and I play video games all the time. I also play pinball. I go to, like, pinball arcades. And have a regular board game, tabletop gaming night. So, all forms of gaming. And I'm not finding good information on this. Yeah, it is something that feeds you more and more credits. I did see that. The arcade mode's probably what I want. There is a difference in some bosses and stuff on things that I'll probably never even get to. But this seems like the more score attack oriented mode, and the other one seems more like the let's see how far I can get in this, playing it over and over and over again and grinding up more credits to make it further into the game. I'm not into that crap, but I mean, I'm not against it either. It depends on the game. That's the design that Gradius 5 is largely built around. Oh yeah, I was talking about their tear. They made that Sylphie game. Then they made Ikaruga, which I've talked about a lot here. It's an awesome game. It's a bullet hell with a gimmick that makes it kind of puzzly, where you have to switch between black and white for black and white shots that do more damage to opposite colored enemies, but those enemies shoot shots of the same color, and you're invincible to shots that you're of the same color of. So, in other words, you have to run the risk of switching over to the more dangerous side to do more damage to enemies, but possibly be hit by their shots. But if you get desperate, you can flip back over to the other side. But that breaks your combo. So that's what the game's gameplay is oriented around. Very fun, very interesting and fun shooter. Much more interesting than anything that Treasure ever made otherwise. Their shooters are good, but they're not really that novel. Gradius 5 is only novel in that it's Gradius. That was the fourth game that they made in the early 2000s there. So from 98 to, I want to say, Sylphie was like 2000, came out like the first year. It was maybe even, it was a US launch title, or it was really close to it. The first year of the PS2. And then Gradius 5 came out late in the PS2's life. Oh yeah, Ikaruga came out in like 99 or 2000, so it came out right around the same time as Sylphie. Probably not the same teams on those, but who knows? That's a very hard thing to get through right there. '92, so yeah, just a little bit worse. A little bit worse. I'm sorry, I want to see what my emulator button mapping is, because I'm confused by the coin button, and I don't quite understand why it is what it is. Like, what am I actually pushing there? Oh, those, okay, yeah, L and R. And those aren't used in the game. They're used, okay, that makes sense. So it's unlike hitting like the left trigger or something to put a coin in. I'm okay with that. That makes sense. I hope I didn't fuck up any buttons. I did. I did. Square should be. Triangle's Y. Or L1 is Z. Oh, I accidentally mashed the wrong button because I'm used to using RetroArch on my handheld, which has the bottom two buttons on the 4-button configuration reversed. Oh man, this is gonna be a bitch. Z is A. I don't know what A even fucking is. No cross. Okay, no, I got you. Cross is A. That's probably what it was before. Circle was probably B. Square was probably X. Triangle was Y. This ain't right here. Well, maybe it is. Oh, no, it ain't. Sorry about this. I fucked up my controls pretty bad. Just by mashing the wrong buttons because I forgot which device I was using. Ooh, that's frustrating. That's some bad shit, man. Square, triangle, those are top buttons. Square, triangle, so R1. Let's just think of how I do this in Street Fighter. R1 is hard punch, so that would be Z. X is light punch. Circle is medium punch, B. Or medium kick. So R2 would be hard kick, C. R2, C. L1 would be L, and L2 would be R. Okay, I think I fixed it. Jeez. Let's see. Yeah, that seems right. No, that's fucking weird and not what I had before. That is not the same buttons. R2 is what R1 was before. Hang on. This is fucking ass, dude. This fucking blows. So we're going to start with that. R2 is what R1 was before. R2 is currently set to C. R1 should be C. Which means that R2 should probably be Z. Right? No, R2 was probably R before. God damn it. I'm just now figuring this out. Oh man, there's so many fucking moves in this game. I bet this is what it was. Hang on, I want to fuck with my buttons, see if they feel right. Yet another button to attack with that I didn't realize I had. Okay. Frustrating day here on the old Radiant Silvergun. But it's a game that I've always been frustrated by, and despite recognizing how good it is, it's like a great game. It's just bunch of buttons and shit you got to figure out. Weird game modes you got to deal with. Defaults to Saturn mode every time, I guess. That's ass. So there's actually 7 buttons in this game. Because there's also this, which I didn't think I even realized I had. I don't know how I feel about this one either. sure this does more damage. Maybe it's useful though. Okay. It's good to practice the buttons too, because man, there's it's a lot of buttons. And I'm using a DualShock, but even if I had a Saturn layout controller, which I do have Saturn layout controllers, I could use one if I really wanted to. But I don't think it would make it any easier or different. It's just a matter of getting used to it. Either way, I'd be trying to get used to something, I'm sure. No destruction bonus, not a great score. I think we can do better here. Is that my high score? No, it's not. It's still just a little lower, isn't it? I felt like I did pretty well there at the end, but guess not. 139 is quite a bit higher, actually. I know I can do better than this. Let's keep it going. Yeah, this screen alone is a great demonstration of transparency on the Saturn and how it does and does not work. The background has transparency in it. The foreground has cross-hatching on those transparent elements, whereas the colors are blended in the background. Because only the tile layer rendered by BDP2 can do that. And that tile layer can be rotated in 3D, but it's just a flat plane no matter what, as far as I know. Nice. Terrible destruction rate, terrible score. That's awesome. Shit. That's so close. Just barely knocked off my previous score. I know I can beat that boss, though. I can feel it. There's no way to hit that thing down there. It doesn't have a hitbox. I don't know why I switched guns there. I don't know what I was trying to do. I thought maybe I could sweep the whole crew or something. Not gonna happen. Ah, fuck you. Yeah, that's usually what's going to happen, because that's a bunch of shit. Yeah, that is a great choice for these weaker enemies. I feel like this is what works best on these assholes, honestly. Losing a life there is pretty much unacceptable. I don't think I'll ever be able to get a decent run on where I do that. Impressively getting worse every time, huh? Just doing a lot worse every time. I feel like I killed more enemies than ever, but that's the lowest destruction rating I've ever gotten. Which makes me wonder if dying affects it, since I fucking died twice on the first level. I mean, it must, because I killed like damn near everything, but I died twice. This is going to be my worst run ever by quite a bit, I think. No, that's the lowest score that will rank that you can get right there. So that's kind of interesting. Man, I played like dog shit that time. Let's see if it gets any better. I might be switching over. I'm just not, like I said, I'm not good at this game. I like the game, but man, I'm not good at it. And it's just, I think it's because of how complicated it is to juggle this many damn buttons. It's a lot of buttons. And you really do need to use them all. Like, the game's set up in its weird-ass way. It almost, like, pressures you to use all these different attacks. And they're crazy, and it's just hard. This game is extremely expensive if you buy the actual, like, Saturn version that I'm playing here today. The 360 version, if it's not delisted, is great, and I would recommend it. Great way to play the game. Let's see that destruction rate. I'm real curious here. Okay, so it was way better this time, even though I destroyed, I think, less shit than I did on the time when I died twice. So dying is really worse for your destruction rating than anything else. Doesn't even matter how many enemies you clear in that case, I guess. That's poor for destruction, but I'm again getting just confused with too many buttons. Too many damn buttons to fucking play the game. And like you see in the beginning, the arcade game is only 3-button, which you can still do here. You can play it exactly the same. It's just you have to push all those weird combinations of buttons, which I think is even more complicated. So that'll just continuously... I've been using that weapon wrong or something. If you can keep the focus line on something, you can tear the shit out of it. That's actually the more straight shot weapon. Okay. There's still a lot to learn in this game. I know really good players use the sword all the time, but as a not good player, I find it very hard to make much use of the sword at all. Not great destruction, but at least I'm alive. And so much for that claim. If you're only going to hit in passing, it's probably better to use the forward fire. Trying to understand the difference between the forward fire and the laser fire and how to make use of it. So there's two beams on the laser. They need to stay focused on something. They kind of sweep, and then once they hit, they stay focused. Then the trick is you don't want to move much. So that's not a high mobility attack, it's a low mobility attack, and I've been using it wrong. But it's not a straight beam either, like I was starting to think there. It's a little bit in between. It's even more complicated than that. Hell yeah, I knew I'd do it eventually. Shit. There was a bit of a breakthrough. That's nice. What the fuck do you have to do to get a Mary chain? Does anyone know? But yeah, now I'm finally in the groove. This is how I like to do shooters. I like to just play them, you know, from the beginning with 1 credit and see how my score is. And this game's great for that in arcade mode. And it's cool that it has both options, actually. I think the Saturn mode's great if somebody wants to just play through the whole game and play like some remixed version of the game. It's cool that you get both. Having more options and lower difficulty and stuff, I think, is always a good thing. It's not like a huge priority in whether or not I like a game necessarily, but more options is going to make more people like it, right? Like, there's going to be somebody who prefers it some other way, so it's always good. That was pretty good. That's a little better than I've done. Let's see if I can get this going on him. Got killed. What do I always say about getting high scores in video games? The next run is terrible. So far I'm surprised. High score wise, I'm actually doing great here, but I died, so that's gonna fuck up my destruction rate a lot, I bet. Yeah, still gave me a good one. That's the most I've ever destroyed on the mid-sized ships in the last wave before the boss. Part is just so fucking difficult. That didn't go well. Not the move. C button is the move there. Shooting its face with the front beam is really the way to go, but I gotta watch out for those fucking lasers. That was actually not a bad run, really. Like my 3rd highest score or something. Nice. Oh, that was good. Oh, let me pat myself on the back for that shit. Slight variety in my strategy there, I think worked better. That'll probably be my typical boss strategy, to be honest. Absolutely crushing it on score that time. Not good. I wish I'd held on to that other life somehow. I fucked that up. Oh, hitting the wrong part, too. Not good. And don't get nuked by the lasers right away. Jesus H. Instead, run into a shot. That's what we'll do. It's called mixing it up. Great score. If I'd gotten to the next level, it would have blown it out of the water, though. It's not going to beat my high score. Oh, no, it did. It beat my high score just by not getting as far. So, yeah, this game, getting good at the levels is very important to your score, as opposed to just getting through them. Like, look at that. That's better than when I got further. Should be using this for the easy pickup. Make sure I hit everything. Until we get here. Nice. %70 destruction. Nice. awesome. Don't know why my score's not higher, actually. I feel like I've been doing great. Who the fuck knows how this game works? That's alright, we're gonna do awesome on this. Probably real low destruction rate on that thing, because I didn't take out the side pieces and stuff. That's super hard though, right? Yeah, score could be way better. I mean, I'm not knocking it out of the park there, but I am doing great on lives and progression, so maybe I'll get really far, who knows. If that won't take it out, fucking nothing will. That's the way I look at it. Pretty obvious what I need to do there now. So I'm going forward, I'll know. They really want you to use the C weapon here, don't they? That's some high pressure bullshit right there. That's the farthest I've made it, but I don't think it's my high score. Thinking about doing about 20 minutes more of this and switching it up for Ikaruga, like maybe like 2 or 3 more attempts. I'll take a real short break here. Think about that for a second. I'll be right back. Alright. So yeah, I'm probably going to do like just a couple more runs on this, and then switch it up for Ikaruga. Also a fun game, and I'll give it about the same amount of time as I'm giving this one. But like I said, Ikaruga, to me, feels a lot easier to jump into. It kind of has a complicated premise as well, at least one that keeps you thinking the entire time you're playing. But it's not like scrambling for the right button all the time. Like this was just a wild way to play a game. This game's great though. Don't get me wrong. Is it worth the cost? No, because there's other ways to play it. You know what I mean? Like this is Beetle Saturn right here. You're looking at a software emulator for PC, and it works great. SSF is another emulator that works great. The Titan version of this, which is basically the same as this arcade mode, works great in MAME. Surprisingly works really well. MAME's Titan emulation is actually not bad from what I've seen, and I haven't used it for a long time, but I thought it performed well and had good compatibility compared to a lot of other Saturn crap that I used. SSF was really good too, though, but SSF is entirely Japanese. Like this, all of the documentation and stuff for it was machine translated. That was back in the day when Japanese translation was even actually way worse than it is now. So it was kind of hard to set up, but it was worth it. But now Beetle Saturn, if you have a decent PC or whatever, just use that. It has extreme, maybe perfect compatibility even, and pretty good performance. You'll need something, you know, something from within the last 5 years to get it to perform well, I'll say, probably. Or I have a 2015 MacBook that can't quite handle it, so, and that's an i5 from a couple generations ago. But if you have like a modern i5 or i7, that's not going to be a problem. Or an AMD equivalent, which is what this is. I'm running on a AMD Ryzen 7 APU mini PC. That's what I play everything on. Got boxed out like I always do. If I can get a little better at that, you know. I haven't been getting too much better at any of this shit, have I? I can get a certain amount through it. A lot of scores in this range, see? Best I've ever done there on those enemies. Score's not very good though. Don't know why. Must have been something I did poorly before it that I didn't notice. Oh, that destruction though. Look at that. That's more like it. I don't need to keep resetting that move. It works on its own. That part is just, it's a nightmare, and I don't know what the solution is. I almost have to watch a video of somebody else playing it to figure it out. I really don't know what the deal is there, though. Well. Not bad. Was that a new high score? I think I've done just a tiny bit better than this, haven't I? Like 73rd or 72nd or something. No? Maybe that is my high score. Well, good. Let's end on a high note. No, that's something I could keep playing and getting better at, and it's fun. What a great game, you know? Didn't really understand the Saturn mode at first, but now I do. It's actually something that they have in Gradius 5 as well, where it's like a mode where you have a limited number of credits, but the more you play it, the more credits they start giving you, and it goes up faster if you get further or something, and eventually you can just like you'll be getting further because of the practice playing through it, and you'll also have a ton of credits, and you're just going to beat it eventually. And then there's the arcade mode, where you insert credits. I assume only first credits count towards scores. There's a regular score table with 100 freaking slots on it, and a very high default high score. And you just see how well you can do. That's what I like to do. That's fun. Either way, it's fun. Also, the Saturn mode has some different bosses and stuff in it. I kind of wish that both mixes of the game were available in both modes. That would probably be good in its own way, but I mean, from a wanting to excuse me, from the point of view of wanting to score attack the game, only the arcade mode is viable. From the point of view of wanting to play through the entire game, both modes are viable because you can just dump quarters in the arcade mode. But anyway, that's Radiant Silvergun. Definitely significantly related because it was Treasure's next vertical shooter on Sega's next hardware, which makes it be perceived as a sequel. It's not. It's just a separate game as far as I know. But it's a successor to, in many ways, this game, Ikaruga. So let's go ahead and get that ROM loaded up. It was also import only on the Dreamcast. However, it did get a US release on the GameCube not too long after, and which had some changes I think that were controversial, maybe like in terms of like timing or like slowdown or something. What else? Then it got re-released on the 360 and PS3. And there's probably a modern version of it available. I feel like it's available on the Switch or something, at least. So not too hard of a game to track down, and not a very, it's a well-liked game that even though it wasn't originally. Oh, I've got to get the art for it too. Okay, let's get Ikaruga's art. Is this real? Hang on, let me see what we got here. This is what it really looks like. Okay, so that's an actual one. It's got the white edge on it. The black edge version is probably just a reasonable variant as well. Although the ESRB rating seems bullshit. This is weird as fuck. Hang on. I'll figure this out. Yeah, no. This to me looks more like a legit copy because this is what this one looks like, right? Dreamcast in the upper right hand corner. Yeah, that's it. Okay, this is the one. So yeah, this is available in many different formats. I don't think it's on PS2 or Xbox OG, but it is on. It might be on Xbox OG. I'm pretty sure it's on GameCube, 360, PS3. Maybe it got a PC release at some point. But yeah, it started off as a Japanese-only game because it came out kind of later. Actually, did it come out later for the Dreamcast? Let me see here. That's such a hard thing to say too on the Dreamcast. Like, what is later? The thing was around for 2 years. Yeah, 2001. That was the tail end of it, I guess. 2001. Okay. I'm looking that up because I'm going to update the title. Sorry, I'm not like more slick at this stuff. I've been doing it for a little while now, but you'd think I'd be better at it. Ikaruga. There we go. Refresh here, make sure it's working. And next step, going to load the actual ROM. That's important, right? And then I'm going to take a break. But I'll see you guys in a little bit, and we'll play some Ikaruga, and we'll see how I do on that. Put an hour or two into that and see how it goes. I'm not good at it either, but I feel like I can get into it faster, and then I can start making progress faster because it's not as complex on the controls as Radiant Silvergun. Anyway, I'll be right back, and thanks for watching. Alright, here we go. Gonna play some Ikaruga. The Sega Dreamcast. I don't think there's anything to really configure in this game. We've got a button that shoots, a button that flips your ship, and then there's one for bombs, which I think is like the trigger. We'll figure that out. Normal. I guess we'll be playing on normal every time. Don't know what the fuck that means. We'll probably end up trying both, though, to see. Not doing that quite right, I don't think. It's gonna take some practice. Exhausting. Huh. There we go. Just got one of them. Being on that side wasn't doing me any damn good, but I couldn't get over because there was too many fucking bullets. Oh, so hard. C+, hell yeah. First level down, I think I'm on my last life. Not sure where lives are shown. So yeah, I noticed the Project RS2 thing on the title screen, so yeah, maybe a direct sequel. I don't know. I didn't realize that. They feel like sort of aesthetically off from each other. Like, I don't know, because they put the anime stuff into the Saturn version of the game that wasn't in Radiant Silvergun. So if I'd never seen that element of it, I'd probably think that Ikaruga was pretty stylistically consistent, showing only like tech and futuristic worlds or whatever. First 3 million. Yeah, I don't know how close I'm getting to that. Yep, that's cool though. At least the default high scores are real low, so you can just get right in there. Radiant Silvergun's approach on that was strange by having a very high default high score, but a huge range of high score table that has 100 entries on it. Very weird stuff. I think I like this better. I am curious to know what choosing this does, though. What does it do? What is it? This is the arcade version, I guess, because it has like a little tutorial screen and shit. Oh, fuck. Good shit. You too. And insta-nuked. That might be the dumbest shit in the history of shit. So how many lives do I have? What's the deal? Do I have unlimited lives in this mode? Is that what it is? It's just like a score attack thing with unlimited lives. If so, I'm not down with that. I mean, maybe I am once, just to see it all, because I never have, but I don't know, have I just never selected this other option? What even is it? Fuck you, game. I'm struggling here, I'm confused. Confused and doing some dumb shit that doesn't work, and it's just need to work out a little better. What? I do remember this shit. Just checked, and this game doesn't support the analog stick. I was actually kind of surprised by that. Like, I wasn't necessarily expecting analog control. Although I think Sylphie supports the analog stick but doesn't have analog control, if I remember correctly. And maybe that's the same with Gradius. Gradius's might be analog. I think I tested it. It's interesting. Anyway, yeah, that's the same deal. I don't see the difference between the two modes. I don't understand. If anybody knows the fine point there that I'm missing, let me know. It seems like it did not let me enter my shit there. And also, like, why is the date all fucked up on this? The date should be right. It's an emulator. It's running on my PC. My PC doesn't say it's 2028. What the fuck? I think going forward, all defaults all the way through is the way to go, because I don't know what that other shit is. So from what I can tell, chain is just chain. Like, you just have to keep hitting the same color, which is not really feasible most of the time. The switching guns doesn't give you any, like, scoring benefit, I don't think, to using, like, the opposite side, even though it's higher risk. So that's something to keep in mind, although, god damn it, it takes fucking forever to kill larger enemies like this if you're not the opposite color. Which is why I switch. Oh shit, I forgot about the... So hard. By the way, I didn't forget that I had this. It's just that every single time before I would use them, like, they're drained to nothing. And it's more that it's just not working out than it is. Even though this is slower, I'm doing it the easier way. Everybody's thinking I lose my goddamn mind. Fine. No. This is a little bit grainy, but these games could be made to look really nice if you wanted to like upscale them and then apply like anti-aliasing. I don't though. I like playing things exactly as they originally looked, even when it's, you know, rough around the edges sometimes. The actual art design here and stuff is top notch. Like, they're so good at this. Fucked up, wrong buttons, got lost. Just all around fuck up. Nice. I still don't understand where my lives are, or how many lives I have. Where's that at? Do I have one life? Is that it? Like down there at the bottom? One extra life? That would make sense. Yep, that is my lives. It's the simplest thing. I thought that had something to do with missiles, but I guess it's that meters and the only thing that has to do with missiles. I need to get this straight. Figure out what I'm doing. The boss bonus is just everything in this, in terms of my score. It's the whole score. But I do think I've set this up to be harder for me to get a high score this round. I've done poorly in a lot of ways. That stuff's not so bad once you get used to it. These parts are a little more puzzly, like you gotta remember to switch and know what you're doing and stuff. Following the wall here might be easy though. Might be easy, it's probably not the highest scoring route, you know, to go through that. You probably shooting for the high score. That is the kind of shit that's extra tricky. And I want to say that this next boss, which has like a black and white half or whatever that it fights with on this level, does a lot of those shots where it's like a slow spread of one color with the opposite, a quick shot through the middle, a quick burst through the middle. Bursts. This game is undoubtedly a bullet hell game. There's a lot of stuff on the screen, but it's always half as much stuff as it looks. You just gotta figure out which half and be on it. Yeah, 763. What's this? All one player. Chapter 1. Oh, Chapter 1 high score. I gotcha. Chapter 2, nobody's done. Gotcha. Okay. I always miss one there, and I hate that. So you get 3 lives this game. And an extra life at 3 million. I got some work to do, buddy, before I see that. Oh, that fucking blows, too. Dumb. Ah, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. New high score there. It's because I tore that boss up pretty fast. I see my missiles are charged. I should put them to use soon. I really do need to be using missiles more often, though. I'm definitely fucking up there. Shit. Make sure savings enabled. Be a damn shame to lose my Ikaruga scores. Although I may be switching emulators anyway, like I said, I've been talking about. So you see this little bit of static, this little bit of as it comes in? That happens quite a bit under Flycast, and it's not like a huge thing in most games. The worst I can think of is the Virtua Fighter 3 intro, because it's pulling from the disc a lot there and showing you a bunch of different characters, and it's pretty fucking crunchy. I've made some changes to the emulator settings that have improved that situation, but it's not perfect. Redream seems perfectly smooth from what I can tell, but I say from what I can tell because the graphics were just a horrible mess on A&B before. I'm going to see if I can fix that with driver updates and such. I hate doing computer shit like that, but it's what's got to be done. No matter what I did there, I was fucked. Can't believe I survived that. Okay. I'm a contender, at least. That was very anticlimactic and horrible. And that was, yeah, beyond sad right there, so it didn't go super great. I don't know what to say about that other than that didn't go super great. But yeah, I'm really shocked by how many views my last stream got, and I don't know which of the 3 games pulled them in. Surely it wasn't Vigilante. Nobody ever talks about that damn game, and it's usually not even talked about in all that positive of a light. Maybe Altered Beast, but that one's pretty controversial, right? Maybe Splatterhouse, but I mean, it ain't Halloween. I don't know. Those are all games I like, though, for sure. It was a lot of fun to play those. There's more 16-bit stuff coming up soon, too, so... I also might do, like, a series or something. Oh, and I also might do some modern stuff. I did want to do some, like, maybe the Crew Motorfest Grand Race live races. That'd be pretty fun. It's a really good game. I've been thinking about doing F-Zero. I've been thinking about doing Aero Blasters, Insector X for Genesis, Legendary Axe on the TurboGrafx 16. These are all games that I'm considering playing upcoming because they've just kind of been in the testing rotation a lot lately, and I'm like, yeah, I like these games a lot, so I don't know. If I do Legendary Axe, I might even do Legendary Axe 2. Not nearly as good of a game, but still, like, still worth playing, you know. It's in my actual Turbo collection. Of all the actual hardware stuff I have, my TurboGrafx stuff is what I'm most proud of. I love that system. I love the collection I have for it. I actually have more games for the Genesis and more stuff for the Genesis for sure. And I love the Genesis, but those are the two that I just wouldn't be able to let go of as far as collections go. And PS2 kind of also. PS2 and Genesis are probably my favorite systems ever, really. I feel like they have the strongest libraries for the kinds of games that I like. I'm a pretty big fan of the PS5 also, far more than any modern systems I have been, because I just feel like, generally speaking, I've been able to get my 60 FPS action game on, and that's all I really care about, is being able to enjoy games with their actual frame rate. The actual refresh rate of at least the normal screen and 30 frames per second gaming. It's going to be hard for me to love the PS360 generation. I'm going to tell you that. There's just so much 30 FPS shit in it. I mean, I guess that's true of PS1 also, but it depends on what kind of game you're playing on PS1. PS1 is a big, big library, and something I like a lot as well. The PS2 had a lot of 60 FPS games, though, and it's a great system, and it's fun. Rough. I did crappily there. Did crappy and died. A great score, but it died. C+ still. Standards are very high around here, huh? I don't understand why I'm having trouble there now. That wasn't an issue before, and now it is. I wonder what I'm doing wrong or what happened there. I wonder if that's just a I should use a missile situation and there's nothing else to it, really. Maybe I just got lucky the first few times. It seems like it's not all that doable to just shoot through it like I was trying to do. Up on the screen to not have any real control of my situation, let me tell ya. Second. Press that button. Or is it press start button? It's probably press start button. motherfucking piece of shit. I cannot believe that. And that is wild as fuck, dude. Whatever. Whatever fucking game. Just really trying to find a way to fuck me over on that one. Well, that's one of the weirdest ways to die I've seen too, so that's pretty wild. Much better played. And it doesn't matter because I got screwed over earlier, but still much better played. Fuck you, game. You really went out of your way to find some weird shit to do to me, didn't you? Trial game? Oh, it only has a couple levels. That's what it is. I think it's the difference between 2 levels and 5 levels. Look at it. I can't get past the second level, so it doesn't make a whole hell of a lot of difference to me, does it? What an odd thing. I guess it's more for like a quick score attack for people who are good at the game that just want to Maybe, I mean, because it's like a caravan mode, maybe more? I don't know. I suppose I could use translate on the screen and actually find out what it says. I feel like these trains have suddenly taken on new properties where they shoot downwards a whole bunch when they didn't used to do that. What's up? What's up with that? It's like they have to find some new way to screw me out of my life on my first level because I figured out how to not get screwed out of my life before. It's really weird. That was my fault and very stupid. This is a really bad run. It's interesting, those beams can physically push you down even though they're the same color and not hurting me. They're like physically just pushing me towards the bottom of the screen. part just seems like a wall of bullshit. Like, flip one way to get fucked one way, or flip the other way to get fucked the other way. It doesn't matter because they're both there, and you can't dodge both. I don't know. I don't get it. I think it would take a while for me to get it on that particular screen. Like, what's really going to happen is I'm going to not fuck up on the first level, and then I'm not going to die there. I'm not going to die until I get here. I'm going to die here for certain, and then I'm going to get a little bit further. But it would take a long time for this to not be a sticking spot where I lose a life. It's just... Did you notice that both this game and Radiant Silvergun have that? Because they have that part with the three guys that spew out the fire shots in every direction, and it's like, hey, it's time for you to pay the piper. I mean, these were still arcade games, so maybe they were money-oriented, but maybe it's just a trick that I don't understand or whatever. It's like, more so than a lot of other shooters, I feel like they're like, hey, you're gonna die here, and we didn't really set it up to where you could. Hang on, is there a way to pause the simulator? Yes, there is. We're gonna find out what this fucking says. Because it's killing me. I just need to know. I think it is a trial mode or something. And let's find out. Japanese to English. We're gonna use the camera. Normal game mode, total 5 pages. Trial game mode, 2 stages in total, 1 stage only, unlimited number of aircraft. So it's just the 2 levels and it's over. Gotcha, okay. If it's unlimited number of aircraft, how did I die last time? Oh well, whatever. Google Translate is a very useful app. Like the photo feature, the camera feature, where you just like point it at something and it tells you what it says. That is the future. That is the kind of technology that actually improves my life. They just the fucking trains are just, oh man, the trains are just the biggest fucking problem in this fucking game right now, by far. Like, they find so many weird little ways they can screw you over. It's just wild, right? Like, hey, you gonna try and flip that? Nope, we're gonna now we got a downward shot, now we got a this, we got a that. It's like, yeah. No, I've never died that way. That's so stupid. this shit's fucked now. Ooh, terrible time too. Oh man, I just fucked this up in every possible way. I should probably just reset it, to be honest. But God, look at that shit ass score. That's like as bad or worse than the first run I did here. Just weird problems I've never had. Barely worth entering my name. 9th place. Absolute trash. Alright. I think that means I need a break. So I'm going to take one. I'll be right back, and then I'll be back for I'm going to probably take like a 10-minute break at the most, and I'll be back for another 20 or 30 minutes. Another few runs. So there's not much left. But maybe after a short break here, I'll be able to knock out a better turn. Maybe I just need a breather. So anyway, I'll be right back. Alright. This is going to be the last runs of these. I'm going to do a few more attempts, but great game. So yeah, I was really thinking about this a lot more. I think I may have incorrectly in the description said that there were power-ups in Radiant Silvergun. There's no power-ups in either game, and I now see how these are related. These games have no power-ups. They have no point pickups. It's all about killing enemies. And it's weirder than that, though, because it's like, yeah, it's all about killing enemies with the right weapon at the right time. And they're both games where you switch weapons constantly. But in this one, instead of having 7 weapons to switch from, they narrowed it down to 2. And then they tied it to the game's defense system and its missile system, and that's just brilliant, really. I mean, it's just a simplified, streamlined, better game than Radiant Silvergun, in my opinion. Some people might like Radiant Silvergun better because of its heavy complexity and constant button switching stuff. Some people might like it because of its heavier boss focus, but I really think that this is the more brilliant game, and they're both pretty clever. Pretty big fan of everything Treasure put out, I guess. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. Some of the stuff sucks, like Stretch Panic. I don't like that at all, but most of the stuff they did was great. My opinion on their games changes over time, too. Like, I used to think Gunstar Heroes was the greatest thing in the world. And then after playing it a little bit, I'm like, it's kind of easy. And there's not really any direct way to make it more challenging other than trying to, like, use less credits, I guess. But still a great game. But I used to like it a lot more than Alien Soldier, which I found too hard. After playing Alien Soldier enough to get how it plays, now that game rules. I'm bad at it, but it rules nonetheless. We'll probably play it at some point here. Man, my score is terrible now that I've come back, huh? Where's this normal for this part? I don't remember. I'm struggling with those trains. I really am. I'm really struggling. I think I'm getting worse at them every time because of the frustration I'm having with them. I just don't get it, man. I just don't get it. That part where they cross over each other and they're both firing both colors of shots at the same time. That's I don't get that. I don't understand what they want me to do there. It's not like it's not like this where you can switch to one color and avoid the other, which is the obvious strategy. They're both full. They're both fully occupying the space. Not a good score. Still doing really much more poorly than I was earlier. I guess you could argue that this is harder since I haven't gotten past the third level. And gotten past the second level, but I got to the third level of Radiant Silvergun and almost to the end of that one. But those levels are so much shorter. This feels like the game where I get further, no matter because it is. Yeah. I hate that. Here, let me fling some of the other color at you while you're in the middle of the thing. Yeah, I wish I was making more progress. I wish the progress I was making wasn't going backwards and I wasn't getting significantly worse at the game every time I play it, but I guess that's how it's going to be today. I'm going to tell you right now, this is my second to last attempt at Ikaruga. Let's see how it goes. Unless we see some sort of progress or something that really encourages me to keep going, I'll just knock out a couple more. Still love the game, just not doing great at it today. Or ever, really. They found their way to squeeze my life out of me on the fucking train battle like they always do. One way or another. It's always some bullshit. A little bit better on score, even though I died. Like, it's become a normal thing now, unfortunately. Train. I barely want to go on after that. Because I know what I did wrong, but and it was my fault, but man, I hit the wrong button. I also want to look at the controls after this. So, like, I think it's possible. Flipping. Hang on. No, maybe I'm wrong about that. What the fuck happened earlier? Because, yeah, I have to be able to... What I'm curious... Yeah, so mashing both buttons together will make a shot come back. Because this is a 2-button arcade game. But I have way more than 2 buttons here on the Dreamcast to work with. And 6, basically. I mean, my god, right? And yet 4th highest score because of poor shit that happened earlier. So yeah, it gives me more credits now just from time. That's a gimmick that Treasure seemed to like and used in a lot of their games. Press that button. Fuck you! Well, we haven't even gotten to the train yet, so we're fucked, right? Oh well. Can't always end on a good one. First I've done on the trains ever, so I guess it's going to be a pretty normal run. Balancing out the weirdness earlier. If I could just get it all to come together, you know what I mean? That's what you got to do to get it to work. But really good level score. Yeah, pretty good score going in. Just missing that life from that dumb shit. As usual. Not a bad run at the end there. Pretty fun, pretty great game. Treasure make great shooters, and they are not like everybody else's shooters, as you can see. They don't use power-ups, they don't use bonus items, anything like that. The score comboing systems are weird, and the gameplay is weird, and the focus here is like picking the right weapon in the moment. So actually, even though I do stand by my comparison to Dow, which is a game that has a ton of buttons in it too, and is all about picking the right weapon for the moment, It also reminds me, of course, of well, shit. I mean, there's a lot of games that are where the focus is more boss or the focus is more, whatever. But like as far as switching weapons as the focus, that would be something like Hellfire, Whip Rush, Elemental Down. A lot of those Genesis Mega Drive shooters are kind of focused that way, and so these games feel very Sega, and they're on Sega systems. I mean, it just works. But they're great, yeah. And I like the way they look. I think Treasure have a really distinctive style for this futuristic space shooter stuff. That's very cool, and you can also see it in Gradius 5. And yeah, I'm going to keep pronouncing it that way because Gradius Gaiden says it. And also Selfie, which is cool. And I'll do a stream of Selfie at some point here too. But anyway, a lot of fun, good times. Thanks for watching.